So hello and welcome to this PYQ series. And in this PYQ series, we are going to discuss mergers and amalgamations, questions pertaining to mergers and amalgamation, where we are going to cover from section 230 to section 240 along with the rules, plus the mergers and amalgamation with respect to the NBFC and banks. So just to provide you some statistics that how important this chapter is, from June 2016 till the recent December 2020 attempt for the old syllabus and for the new syllabus, you see the minimum weightage which you have seen is 5 years. But every time they have asked for 5 years, the next attempt they have asked for a higher marks. So for old syllabus students in December 2020, they've asked merger only for 5 marks. So be prepared in your attempt. They may ask for 10 or maybe for 15 marks, seeing the past trend. Okay. Don't take this so seriously. But anyway, this chapter is important. Take this chapter very seriously because again, if you see in June 2016, it was asked for 5 marks, then it was asked for 15 marks. But then if you see June 2017, 24 marks and 24 marks out of 50. Do you understand? Out of 50 marks, 24 marks is only from mergers and amalgamation because for old syllabus 50 marks was for part A, right? So here if you see again 20 marks out of 50, 16 out of 50. So it may go up to from 10% of your paper, this may go up to almost 50% of your paper. As far as the new syllabus is concerned, just see the weightage which has been in the December 2019 attempt, then in the June 2019 attempt. So they have asked for 26 marks. So again, for you guys, it's almost 52% of the paper. And in this attempt, they have asked for 13 marks, which is out of 50. So almost 26%. So even though they have reduced it, but still 26 marks, 13 marks, this is way too much. So the overall weightage of this chapter is very high. So we need to cover and we need to prepare this for the best. So let's start with the PYQ session. I have not mentioned the attempt or the question number, but just remember that all the questions are in this sequence only. So it's June 2016. So if you see a 5 mark question from June 2016, this means the next question that we have is from December 2016. Okay. So just remember we have gone in the same chronological order as I have put this table here. So the first question that we have, of course, this is from June 2016. So whatever questions I can write, which attempt it is, I'll do that. But otherwise, it should not be a relevant thing for you that in which attempt it has been asked. Because anyway, if it's a past year question, you have to practice it in writing and go ahead in the exam. Okay, so this is the question. What should be the answer according to you all? Ludhiana Berry Limited has proposed a merger with Jalandhar Berry it with itself. The merger has been approved. The merger scheme has been approved by 76% of the shareholders of Ludhiana Berry Limited and 98% of the shareholders of Jalandhar Berry, and they have mentioned it in value terms. Now you have to mention, explain with the help of the relevant provision and decided case law whether this will be binding on all shareholders, including the dissenting shareholder. So what do you think is going to be the answer for this? First thing that we need to develop is the approach. So what will be the approach to this question?
Sir, dual majority is needed.
So very good. So first and foremost point you are going to mention that to pass the scheme under section 232 read with section 230. Okay. What is the requirement? The requirement is of the dual majority. Okay. And what is that dual majority? It is majority.
Majority number of members representing three-fourth value of the shares.
Very good. Representing 3/4 in value. Fantastic. Now, what else you need to mention here? So, first part is very good. So, this is a very good to start. What will be the second point?
Sir,
It will be binding when approved by NCLT.
Very good. So, this was something I was looking for because they are saying whether it will be binding on all. So, just because the members have agreed, do you think the scheme will become binding? Answer is no. the scheme
No.
becomes binding on all, right? Binding on,
Sanctioning of tribunal.
yes, binding on all like a statutory force, right? It gets the statutory force if it is what is the word?
Sanctioned.
Very, very
Sanctioned.
good. When it is sanctioned by the tribunal, right? After it is approved
By
by
members and
Members,
members
or
and
creditors,
creditors
or
and
any class of
creditors.
them.
Very
and
good. And
any class.
creditors of the company. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. So 2 points you have started it. Very good. Now, what should be the next point for you for this answer?
Sir, in third point, we can write now if the scheme is sanctioned by the tribunal, it is binding on all.
So that is
Whether
what you
they
have
have
written in the second point. The same thing you have written in the second point. So what's the use of
Like
writing it again?
including the dissenting shareholders.
So binding on all, you can write it here only, na?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mention that.
Including the dissenting shareholders. So why I'm telling you not to write the same point again and again, because you are going to give examiner impression that you're beating around the bush if you write the same point active passive, right? So
And sir, सेक्शन भी मेंशन कर सकते हैं ना, जैसे एज पर सेक्शन 230
so you have
6 में
mentioned,
वो
आपने ये
बताया है।
mention कर दिया, you have started with
और
it,
अच्छा,
आपने
और
यहाँ
जो
पे start कर दिया।
ड्यूअल मेजॉरिटी में हम ये भी आगे लिख सकते हैं ना कि बाय प्रॉक्सी एंड पोस्ट
नहीं जरूरत है, देखिए इस क्वेश्चन में जरूरत नहीं है उसका, वो आप लिख सकते हो द वोटिंग, ऑफ कोर्स आप वो यहाँ पे लिख सकते हो, द वोटिंग कैन बी डन आइदर इन पर्सन और थ्रू प्रॉक्सी,
और
राइट,
बाय
और
पोस्टल बैलेट।
by postal ballot, definitely आप यहाँ पे लिख सकते हो, that is absolutely fine. So the scheme can be approved, this is fine, but ultimately the two relevant provisions from the Companies Act you have mentioned here. Now what you need to answer is based on this case. Now your third point is going to start in this case. Okay, so
यस सर।
your third point will be in this case. Now when you write in this case, just mention briefly, write the same question again. So what will you like here? Write here. You will write, let Ludhiana Berry wanted to merge with Jalandhar Berry. Correct?
ओके
This
सर।
was the scheme. Then this scheme was approved by how many percent? So it was approved by 76% of the members of Ludhiana Berry and 98%, right? 98% of Jalandhar Berry, and this was in value. Right. So do you think the scheme is approved in this question? In this case, do you think the scheme is approved?
यस सर।
We can assume that they are like they are the majority
मेजॉरिटी।
also. Like
Okay,
we'll have to mention that point. Either
right,
assume or not assume.
right. So you have to mention this. So you will say the scheme, or you can start this way, as the scheme requires dual majority. So in terms of value, right? So in terms of value, the criteria is met, but in terms of the majority number of members, this is still unknown, right? Therefore, if majority number have approved, right? If majority in number have approved, then the scheme is passed, or this is
Approved by shareholders.
approved by the shareholders. And then if not, then it will be not passed, or this is not approved. Got it? Thereafter, you will also have to mention the same point again, that it will become binding on the shareholders only after it is sanctioned by,
सैंक्शनिंग बाय द
yes,
ट्रिब्यूनल।
it will be binding upon the sanctioning by the NCLT. Got it?
ओके सर।
Right? Simple question.
Sir,
Yes.
हम डायरेक्ट ये नहीं लिख रहे हैं ना कि हम एज्यूम कर रहे हैं कि वो मेजॉरिटी में भी
नहीं
हाँ
नहीं नहीं, आप यहाँ पे ये लिखोगे in the question we don't know, so you will say that the scheme, as the scheme requires dual majority both in terms of value and in terms of number. So in terms of value, you know it is 76 and 98% for both the companies, but you don't know what is the number of members who have approved. So if the number of members who have approved the scheme represent majority in number, then the scheme is passed or it is approved. Otherwise the scheme will not be approved even though it is approved by 76 or 98% in value. Okay,
Okay.
so don't
Yes, sir.
assume, write both the scenarios. If nothing is mentioned, write both.
Okay.
Right, it's basically, it's not a practical question that if you assume two things you will have to solve the question twice. Right, you just have to write one more line. So it's always better and more a professional approach to write it this way, like how you can approve, like in how you can assume. Right, there is no deeming provision, you can't assume. If information is not given in the question, you straight away cannot assume. This is not a practical question that you have to show your uh, basically the examiner is not testing you upon how you can calculate the question. The examiner is testing you how well you can apply the provisions here. So in this case you can just write it this way, so that will be a very smart approach. Okay, though if you assume and you write the answer, even that will not be wrong, but I would still suggest that it is not a very professional approach, not a standard approach. Okay,
Yes, sir.
can we go ahead now? Next question.
Yes.
So the next question is this. Okay, now if you're wondering why High Court is written here, it is because this question belongs to that era where the merger demerger used to take place, the sanctioning used to take place through High Court. So read this as NCLT. Yeah, now what should be the answer for this question?
RBI.
Correct. But so the first question is name the authority. So you have mentioned the name the authority, which is one is NCLT and another is RBI. What else? The second part of the question is discuss the aspects to be ensured. So what this question is all about? Don't answer me the question. I mean, just tell me what is the approach.
Sir, means that what RBI will consider the aspects?
No.
Sir,
Okay, correct. Mansi, correct. What you are saying, discuss the aspects to be ensured. So basically you need to answer what all things RBI is going to take into consideration before sanctioning. So remember those 7 points which we had?
yes, sir.
Should I take you?
Valuation,
Yes.
revaluation, and
This is
Sir,
there.
due
Swap ratio.
diligence,
Yes.
purchase consideration
Shareholding.
payable,
Shareholder
Yes.
pattern.
post
So
impact on profit.
right. So apart from those, you'll have to see. Remember this,
Yes, sir.
right? All these things are to be considered. Okay. So all the
these 7 जो criteria है वो तो बैंक
board
plus
of
बैंक के
directors.
लिए
Board of
है.
directors. Correct. So discuss the aspects to be ensured. So
पर यहाँ
you'll
NBFC दिया हुआ है ना सर
right.
पहले
तो
से.
ये यहाँ पे आप ये देखो, ये जो पॉइंट है, this is for
3
अगर आप
पॉइंट जो वो KYC वाले दिए हैं वो होंगे ना.
yes, the board should examine these
हाँ.
points.
Yes.
But this is in addition to that. In addition. So ये जो points है, इनके अलावा
इनको
ये
भी-
3 पॉइंट.
अच्छा.
Right?
इनको भी लिख के और ये भी लिखना है.
हाँ, ये भी जाएगा आपका.
ओके.
सारे पॉइंट्स जाएंगे आपके. ओके.
ओके.
So you
हाँ
need,
सर, क्योंकि अगर जब बोर्ड कंसीडर करेगा और आरबीआई को लगेगा कि उन्होंने ये सारे पॉइंट्स को लेके स्कीम को देखा है तभी.
yes. And apart from that, I'll also tell you, if I have to write an answer for this question, since this is a 5-mark question, what I would also do, this looks two way, like discuss the aspects to be ensured. This can be interpreted in two way, right? This can be interpreted in two way. One is what the board of directors are going to consider. Other is with respect to granting the approval of amalgamation. So I would also quickly write the steps. What is going to be the steps for a banking company plus the NBFC merger. Right? Remember it's a very easy step. Just see this.
Board
Yes.
approval.
Yes. So board of
And
director approval, then RBI
2/3 of
approval,
the
and then the scheme will go to NCLT. So I will also write this.
and RBI to approve the scheme.
Yes. So this is going to be the process, right? So the banking company shall obtain. So this point number 14 and point number 16, I'll write both of them. Okay. Guys,
Okay,
clear? Whenever
सर वो
you
फिर 7 क्राइटेरिया लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है.
नहीं है वो 7 तो आप लिखोगे. देखिए ये जो 7 क्राइटेरिया है ये तो बिल्कुल अपने बेसिक पॉइंट्स हो गए.
ये फॉर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स हो गए.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you will also write this कि अगर RBI का अप्रूवल लेना है, so where does RBI or where the RBI approval would be taken? So first the board of directors are going to approve. So what is the requisite majority for board of directors?
2/3
Sir,
in strength.
2/3 of the
The
strength of the board.
right? So 2/3 of the strength of the board, right? And thereafter you'll go ahead with this. Okay. So try
Okay.
to mention. So whenever you get, so why I'm telling you this kind of a point, because whenever you get this kind of a question where you are not sure what is to be written, right? Like I can interpret it two ways, whether we have to write steps here or what are the aspects which is to be ensured. So ensured means both the things are to be ensured. Yes or no? So you may
Yes.
get confused between this. So if it's a 5-mark question, I would always suggest write the entire thing, so that if examiner is expecting this answer and you have written this, so you may lose out some of the marks. But if you write both, you have served everything and you have also shown to the examiner that you know everything. Now technically, interpretation wise, both the answers are correct. These are to be ensured by the board and these are to be ensured by the company. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So whenever you are in doubt, if it's a 5-mark question, if this would have been a 3-mark question, I'll take a call. But if it's and in a 3-mark question, anyway, you'll not find this kind of a ambiguity. But if it's a 5-mark question, please don't take chance, write all, because if the examiner is expecting something else and you have written, even though that is relevant, but you'll not get enough marks. So I don't want you to get 2 on 5, right? So here there is a risk that you may get 2 on 5. So better it would be if you write 4 on 5. Okay. I haven't seen the guideline answer what institute has provided, right? But I'm still telling you the guideline answers are also recommendatory. Okay. The guideline answers are not, it's like the one, binding force. Okay. So whenever you are in doubt, write both. Okay. Now we have this question. Now this question is a repeated one. This is a repeated one from the new syllabus module. This question is there. Like this question is definitely from the old syllabus paper, but this is expressly mentioned in the new syllabus paper. There have been occasions when the shareholders holding minuscule shareholdings have made frivolous objections against the restructuring scheme, just with the objective of stalling or deferring the implementation of the scheme. The courts have on number of occasions overruled their objections. Comment on the statement with the relevant case law. Ignore the case law. Can you comment on the statement? What this statement is all about? While you guys answer, I'll just quickly open the module also, the new syllabus module also, where you can find the exact provision. What will be the approach?
सर इसमें हम ये लिखेंगे क्या कि एक बार जब स्कीम अप्रूव हो जाती है तो वो फिर यदि वो फेयर है और
ये
अनरीजनेबल है.
अप्रूव होने के पहले होगा या अप्रूव होने के बाद में होगा? आप जो पॉइंट बता रहे हो वो करेक्ट है, बस स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट आप थोड़ा सा गलत जा रहे हो.
So,
Yes.
can we mention about the 10% and 5% wala thing, that only when the dissenting shareholders, if at all they don't agree to the scheme and if they are 10%, like the shareholders are 10% and the creditors are owing 5% of the total debt, only then they can make an objection, otherwise not.
Okay. What else? What else?
So if they are making, if that percent
Is
of,
the question about who are there? I mean, who can raise the objections? Is the question about that?
no, but
Read the
other than
question.
those people,
Mm-hmm.
whoever are making objections, they will be considered as
Are they
frivolous.
entitled to do?
And
Are they entitled to raise objections?
no,
It is about implementation of the scheme.
Yes, yes, you are correct. आस्था जी, you are correct. आप अपने आंसर को अगर थोड़ा
231.
फिल्टर करोगे तो I think you will get it right.
कि
Sir,
कुछ शेयर होल्डर्स होते हैं जो
process-
वो स्कीम को इम्प्लीमेंट होने नहीं देना चाहते हैं सर.
Sir,
Okay.
again, it is about the binding of
सर
order.
वी कैन राइट ना कि अगर वो एक बार सैंक्शन हो गया तो इम्प्लीमेंट होगा ही.
आप एक बार चेक करो, आप सब जो पॉइंट्स मेरे को बता रहे हो, all these points are after the implementation. Like this is after the sanctioning of the scheme. This question is before the sanctioning of the scheme. Because if courts are going to overrule their objections, this means the scheme is not yet approved. The court or the NCLT is in the course of implementing the scheme or sanctioning the scheme. Yes or no? This is right before sanctioning the scheme.
Sir, it is about valuation part.
No. Okay. What all things courts are going to take into consideration before court is going to sanction the scheme?
इसके अंदर कोई स्कीम में रिडक्शन ऑफ शेयर कैपिटल
नहीं,
वगैरह
नहीं,
नहीं.
नहीं, नहीं, नहीं. Answer would be
Sir, that
That
proposal of
the scheme does not violate any of the provisions of the
yes.
Companies
scheme
Act.
and
It is in
reasonable-
good faith.
Yes. So what NCLT is going to check before sanctioning the scheme? You need to mention this, right? So first is NCLT is going to ensure few things. What? All these things you have to write here. That the scheme
Scheme is
is fair,
fair and reasonable.
it is reasonable, it is not
It is in good
oppressive,
faith.
it is in good faith, correct?
not
It
detrimental to the
not
interest of
affect
Yes, it is
creditor.
not detrimental, right?
smooth and satisfactory
Yes.
implementation.
So if you remember, we had one slide. I'll show you. I'll take you back. So this is slide number 246. I'm just remembering so that when we come back, we get to the scheme.
Precedent and subsequent वाली जो
Yes,
slide.
absolutely. Absolutely. Conditions precedent and subsequent to sanctioning of the scheme. This one, right? Do you
Yes,
remember
sir.
this? So you'll have to
Yes.
write this part, okay? And thereafter, you will also have to mention this. So if you see this in your module, from your module, this is the case law we had discussed, that Supreme Court opined that the court before whom the scheme of amalgamation is placed for the sanction is not expected to put the seal of approval merely because majority of the shareholder have done. No, not this one. Right. Yes, the court is obliged to. The court is obliged to examine the scheme in the proper perspective together with the various manifestation ramifications to find out whether the scheme is fair, just, reasonable, and not contrary to this. Apart from that, you will also get some of the one of the case law here where it was that minor shareholders with minor shareholding, they will not raise objections, right? Just a minute, I'll show you that case study also. That yes, this is that case study. Now read this. There have been occasions where minority shareholders have raised objections and have succeeded in this, but a lone minority shareholder, right, cannot has apparently forced the company to call off this. But again, they'll have to see on the grounds of willful suppression and material facts and mala fide intentions. But if it is not the case, where the scheme is bona fide, if the scheme is made in good faith, then in that case, scheme will not be uh, rejected, right? Just see this. All these provisions. Got it? Remember we covered this in this is in chapter number 3. Just see from the new
Yes,
module,
sir.
right? All these case studies we have covered. So just see that it might be possible that it is to find faults in the scheme, right? Which would not be sufficient ground. It was further held that the merit of the rejection, a scheme must be obviously unfair, blatantly unfair, unfair to the meanest intelligence, right? Only then we will say that the scheme is oppressive. Just because, so mere lack of confidence between the minority shareholder and majority shareholder will not be enough, right? Then see this, where the complaints have been made, then the company will have to see. So these are the provisions which you have to write. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand this case, right? Guys, this is clear. Plus check lesson number 3 of the new syllabus for the case laws there. Then let's go ahead and see. This is again a repeated question. What are the conditions precedent and subsequent to the court sanctioning to the scheme of amalgamation? So precedent we have written. What are subsequent? You need to file the scheme. Yes or no? The scheme needs to be implemented as it is. Scheme to be implemented as it is, right? Then secondly, the order of the tribunal needs to be filed to the ROC. Then again, payment to the dissenting shareholder.
सर
Yes.
वो वाला एक जो पॉइंट था कि इफ प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स को इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स में कन्वर्ट करना है तो आइदर हम उनको ऑप्शन देंगे कि या तो आप अपने अरियर्स ऑफ डिविडेंड कैश पे ले
That
लो.
is fine. That is fine. वो कंडीशन यहाँ पर नहीं लिखोगे तो भी चलेगा.
ओके.
वो कंडीशन आप नहीं लिखोगे तो भी चलेगा. यहाँ पे अगर आप आंसर चेक करो, योर आंसर विल बी अगेन द सेम स्लाइड व्हिच वी हैव डिस्कस्ड जस्ट फॉर बिफोर.
सर इस आंसर में हम कंपनीज एक्ट के वो प्रोविजन भी कि 68 एंड 66 भी आल्सो फॉलो होना चाहिए, ये भी लिख सकते हैं क्या?
नहीं,
रिडक्शन
वो
ऑफ
जरूरत नहीं है. आप देखिए वो स्कीम के लिए वो मतलब स्पेसिफिक जहां पे रिडक्शन हो, जहां पे बायबैक हो, उन सब के लिए आ जाता है. और मानसी, as you have said, where specifically you have conversion of preferences, not every scheme is going to have, but what broad provisions we have covered here, this is for all the schemes. Okay, so you have to write the same thing. Okay, the same slide which you have to write it here. Let's go. Okay, now check this question and tell me. This is again a most repeated question. This is again most repeated question, and I think this is June 2017, because this is 5 mark question, 5 mark question. Yes, 10. I think this is June 2017. Anyway, just check this. So scheme of merger of Happy Limited with Lucky Limited was filed to NCLT. Regional director has raised objections, right, on the additional filing fees and stamp duty on the increased share capital, and also against the changing of the name of the transferee company for not complying with section 61 of the Companies Act. So will the objections of regional director hold good? So what this question is about? Approach. First thing.
It is a single window clearance.
Very good. So this question is targeting on the single window clearance. Okay. 1 mark you have got. What else? Now you'll have to explain this part. What is single window clearance? You need to explain this. So what is single window clearance?
कि ये इस स्कीम में यदि ये सारी चीजें दी होगी तो
English.
if in the scheme it is mentioned, so no requirement of additional
Process
process
to do the above things, correct?
to do above things. Okay.
So like changing of the name, increase of the authorized share capital,
Authorized
everything
share.
takes place through the scheme itself, right? But
Okay.
there is one condition in that. What is that? It should be mentioned in the scheme, correct?
In the scheme, yes, sir.
Right. Now we have two objections, which is here. One objection is with respect to the change of name. So the change of name will take place along with the scheme. Okay. Then we have for the increase in the authorized share capital. So that can also take place along with the scheme. Now we have third is with respect to the stamp duty. Right. So what about the stamp duty?
It can be set off uh,
So the
by
stamp,
transfer.
correct. Go ahead, Astaji. You were correct.
Stamp duty is set off by transfer by transfer company's authorized capital
So
stamp duty
stamp duty, which is paid by the transferor company,
for the company is
The
set
will,
off by
will be
transferring
allowed to be set off
set off
by
by
transferring
by
company.
transferring
the
company.
transferee company, right?
Yes, sir.
And also all these things will be required to do after the scheme is approved. Yes or no? You don't have to do this before the scheme is
For
approved,
the scheme, yes, sir.
right? So increase of the authorized share capital or payment of the stamp duty and also changing the name of the transferee company. All this is required to be done after. So the objections which are raised by the regional director, these are not tenable. You need to remember this word. These are not tenable. Okay.
Okay,
And these
okay.
are not tenable because of the above reasons. Got
Sir,
it? Yes.
मतलब अगर हमने स्कीम दिया है एनसीएलटी को तो उसमें हम सारी चीजें एक में ही मेंशन करके दे सकते
Yes,
हैं.
if it is mentioned in the scheme that subsequent to the approval of the or the sanctioning of the scheme, that there will be a change in the name of company, there will be increase in the authorized share capital. Then with the sanctioning of the scheme, everything is deemed to be approved. This is what is called as single window clearance. Okay.
Okay.
So here if they have written whether the objections of the regional director is good, then you'll say no, the objections of the regional director is not good and will not be tenable in the eyes of law because of this reason. Okay. Guys, this is clear.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see this. How is the right of minority shareholders protected during the merger, amalgamation and takeover? So this is also one of the important question if I say, and if you see lesson number 3 from the new syllabus, right? You will get this question straight away.
Sir, we can write this कि वो prevention of operation and mismanagement.
Yes. So you can write about the prevention of the operation and mismanagement. You can write this. Apart from that, Richa, now you are going to write who can raise objections. So that 5%, that 10% for the members and creditors, you can write it here. Okay. They can raise the objections. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So if I take you to the module now, so this is that I had said you during the class also that this is an important question. So how the rights of minority shareholders are. So this is there. 5% of the debt, 10% of the shareholding, dissenting minority shareholders can also go to there. And then SEBI in terms of takeover, in term, for the shareholder can also approach, the investor can also approach to SEBI. Then under section 235, 90% and 10%, this can be given here, right?
सर ये क्वेश्चन ओल्ड सिलेबस के लिए तो वो जो एक चैप्टर है माइनॉरिटी सर
यस
पे जाएगा ना सर?
यस, बट ओल्ड सिलेबस के मॉड्यूल से ज्यादा अच्छे से इसको न्यू सिलेबस के मॉड्यूल में लिखा हुआ है.
ओके सर.
So the next question that we have is again this one. So first of all, tell me, is this question of SEBI takeover regulation or this is a question from Companies Act? Smart question.
It is a companies act, under companies act,
Why so? There is
because
acquisition going
both
on.
both companies are private limited company, and not, because in takeover target company is want to a limited company,
Very, very good.
is a listed company, sorry.
Very, very good. So here the applicable provision is which section?
235.
Very, very good. Ruchiraji, correct. So this is section 235. What does section 235 deal with? It deals with,
Dissenting
no, this is power to acquire the shares from the dissenting shareholders, which is approved by majority. So basically this is acquisition of one company by another.
100%.
100% subsidiary, yes or no? So the acquisition of one company by another. Now once you have identified what are the provisions of section 2, like section 235 is getting triggered here. Now preparing a checklist is not a problem for you. Basically what you have to do is write step by step what section 235 is all about. If I take you back to all the slides, right, where we have covered section 235, we have already done this. Just see this. So fast track merger 235. If you remember, we have covered this. Got it? Is this clear? What we need to write?
Yes sir, 4 months, 2 months, or
Yes.
सर
Yes.
बाय द जो क्वेश्चन में वर्ड मेंशन था एक्वायरर, तो उसके ही कारण हम इस सेक्शन से रिलेट करेंगे.
Yes. Because अगर आप यहाँ पे चेक करो तो वर्डिंग्स जो यूज किया हुआ है, one company that to private limited is acquiring another private limited company. What happens, because the word used here is acquiring, most of the students who answer it wrong, they take this as takeover regulation and they say takeover regulation will get triggered. So this is wrong. You need to write section 235 and then the entire steps. Okay,
या सर.
right? So you need to answer this question. Then we have another question. Okay, check this. The amalgamated company has to issue new shares to non-resident Indians in the amalgamation, and for that it has to obtain permission from the Reserve Bank of India under the provisions of FEMA Act. Now this is not 98, this is a typing error by the institute. 99. Now what is going to be
क्रॉस
your answer?
क्रॉस बॉर्डर मर्जर
No,
रेगुलेशंस.
no, no, zero, zero. Only in case of cross-border merger you will issue shares to non-resident Indians. Can't
नो
this
नो
happen
नो.
in section 232 also?
यस
Yes,
सर, यस सर, सॉरी.
Right? Not a problem. Not a problem. It's good you do all mistakes in the class and not in the exam. So if I again take you back to section 232, there we expressly had covered this provision. No, this is there. Yes, this one, where the shares are held by non-resident shareholders under the foreign direct investment norms guidelines, they'll have to comply. Now, which regulation they are going to comply here, or which rule they are going to comply? I had said you there is a amendment in this.
सर फेमा नॉन डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट.
Yes, FEMA non-debt instrument. So what is that? Whether it is regulation or that is rules?
रूल्स
Very good.
2019.
Very, very good. FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management non-debt instruments rules 2019. And I had said you 4 things you need to comply in that. What are those 4 things? Pricing guidelines, then again the FDI cap, which is up there. Remember? It should be within the limits, pricing, approval route, or whether it is under the automatic route.
Sir, entry routes,
Yes,
attendant condition, right?
yes. The entry routes,
Pricing guidelines.
entry route, then pricing, right? The
Second,
attendant conditions, the sector.
caps.
Yes, sector again, attendant conditions, pricing, and again the cap. This is plus you will also have to see foreign exchange management, non-debt instrument rules 2019. Now just see, this is the correct answer. If you compare this with where students will write, yes, FEMA regulations needs to be complied as applicable. Now, do you think the student should get marks? Answer is no. Examiner is not going to give marks to that student. And thankfully, examiner won't give marks to that student, because then the student who has written all this answer, that would be injustice. It will be very unfair with that student. Okay, so you need to make sure that you write this properly. Okay, again I would say this is an important question since this has an amendment here.
सर इसको हम आंसर में कैसे पुट करेंगे
आंसर
थोड़ा
में
सा
हम
और
ऐसे लिखेंगे that in case of the scheme, okay, where the shares are to be issued to non-resident shareholders, in that case the company needs to comply with the FEMA Act 1999. Of course, you agree to this statement. First of all, you need to mention whether,
ओके सर
because this is a comment section. Then you will say that the applicability, what needs to be checked. So we need to check first the rules, and then you will have to write the other conditions which needs to be checked is. You'll write these.
फिर वो पॉइंट्स लिख
Yes.
देंगे ये
Entry
वाला
routes. So entry routes is basically there are 2 routes. One is the automatic route, another is the approval route.
इनको एक एक दो दो लाइन में आगे मतलब
Yes, बस
एक्सप्रेस
क्योंकि 3
करना
मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, अगर आप एक एक लाइन में नहीं भी लिखोगे, सिर्फ ये बुलेट पॉइंट्स में भी लिख के आओगे तो भी चलेगा.
ओके
अगर ये 5 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, फिर आप इसको एक एक लाइन में लिख सकते हो. ओके.
ओके
The valuation, like for example, when it comes to pricing, the valuation needs to be done. When it comes to sector, you need to see whether it is prohibited sector or that is a permitted sector. So if it's a prohibited sector, then the shares cannot be issued. Then cap may you will have to see what is the
सेक्टोरियल
maximum FDI limit.
एफडीआई
So that's how. Okay. Let's go ahead. Then this is the next question. Messrs Happy Export Limited was merged with Messrs Smart Export Limited. The order was passed by the High Court and was filed to the Registrar of Company, but the same was not taken record by ROC. Will the scheme be effective? Now, don't get carried away by High Court. Read this as NCLT. Now, what will be the answer for this question? What will be the answer for this question?
So the scheme will still be effective because the company has done its part.
So, will the scheme be effective? You have seen the answer is yes. Okay. But if you say because the company has done its part, you'll get 0 for that. Reasoning is wrong. You need to answer like a company secretary, like a legal advisor. Let's say ROC sends you a show cause notice that how you have implemented the scheme. The scheme is not yet effective because we have not taken into record. Will you reply to ROC this way? जी हमने अपना काम कर दिया, आप खुद को देखो. Or like a company secretary, like a legal advisor, you'll answer it in terms of the provisions of the Companies Act.
Can we mention that it is a conclusive evidence that since we have filed the scheme with the ROC.
Forget that. First thing
No.
you need to mention is, once the scheme is filed to ROC, is it required for the ROC to take it to record, or Companies Act simply says that the order of the NCLT needs to be filed to ROC within 30 days?
Just
What
the
is the
second
provision?
part.
What is the provision? Section 232. What is the provision? Even this provision is there in section 233. What is the provision? It is, but since it is written NCLT High Court, so don't write section 232, 233. Just write section 232. What is the provision? It is that, see, it's a 3-mark question. Don't beat around the
Sir,
bush.
order is to be filed within the 30 days.
Very good. So order of NCLT is to be filed to the NCLT within 30 days,
30 days from the
Filed to
and
ROC.
this will be filed to ROC. Sorry. This will be filed to ROC, and this will be filed in which form? INC 28, correct? The order
yes,
of
sir.
NCLT is always filed in form INC 28. Okay. Thereafter, it is talking about effectiveness of the scheme. When does the scheme become effective? Do you have you read something called as effective date, appointed date?
Yes, sir.
Right? The scheme as on the appointed date is
When the transfer to the transfer company asset
correct.
whole or any part of the undertaking property or liabilities of the
Correct.
transfer
Then we
company.
say that the appointed date or the appointed day is the effective date. Yes or no? With effect from the appointed date, the scheme is effective. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So third part you will say ROC. There is no provision which says that ROC needs to take record. There is no need. Okay. It's not like the reduction of share capital where ROC is going to issue you a certificate. Okay. If this question would have been for reduction of share capital, your answer would have been absolutely different. You would say, no, the reduction is still not effective because ROC has not issued you the certificate. Remember, we just did reduction of share capital. Do you remember? Guys?
ओनली यही लिख रहे हैं 232 subsection 5 के हिसाब से certified copy of the order to be filed with the registrar, it is mentioned in Companies Act. तो ये भी
That's
लिख
it.
सकते हैं.
बस यही लिखना है. That provisions of section 232 just says that the order of NCLT needs to be filed to ROC within 30 days. It will be filed in form INC 28. And as on the appointed date, the scheme will be deemed to be effective, right? Further, in the provisions of the Companies Act, nowhere mentions that the ROC needs to take record. Okay.
Okay, sir. So
This
the
is-
scheme is still be effective.
The scheme is still effective. Let's go ahead and see. The tribunal can modify the transfer approach, which is
Powers
the
of tribunal.
very good. Which section?
231.
Very, very good.
Section 231.
Very good. Section 231. This is with respect to the powers of NCLT. Okay. What else? What else? Can the tribunal modify the transfer date proposed in the scheme of amalgamation? ये तो
Sir,
आपने
we
provision
can.
बता दिया.
Yes, sir. We can write that कि may at any time making such order
Mhm.
or any time thereafter give such direction.
So can NCLT do so? First point, his answer is yes.
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 And when
At the
NCLT
time
can
of
do,
making such order
at the
or
time of,
at any time thereafter.
right? So at any time NCLT can modify the scheme, right?
But
Then you are
only
going,
when there is the scheme is not implemented as the way it should have been.
no, this is only for the implementation of the scheme.
Sir,
The modification
may
can be done
consi-
only for the implementation of the scheme. Remember?
necessary for the proper implementation
Yes.
of
So
the scheme.
either that you can write that way also, that if it is, if such modification is necessary for the implementation of the scheme and not otherwise. Okay. Should I take you back to section 231? Just see. So this is section 231. Just a minute. Yep. This is there, right? This is power to make modification in the scheme at any time for proper implementation of the compromise or arrangement. Okay. Not otherwise.
सर
Yeah.
ट्रांसफर डेट चेंज करना ये तो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के पहले का स्टेज है कि बाद का?
कभी भी ये कभी भी हो सकता है. अपॉइंटेड डेट एंड इफेक्टिव डेट के टाइम पे आई हैड मेंशन्ड दिस. ओके.
ओके सर.
All right. Now which was the slide number? This is all we have covered. Okay. Now, as a company secretary, one should advise the board regarding the compliances under various legislation. Referring the cases of mergers and amalgamation, state the circumstances that warrant the compliances under any or all of such legislation. 5-mark question. I would say this is a really good question which was asked in the exam. Very, very good question. It's a very easy question, but at the same time, only those people can answer, those who have actually studied it well. Now, what this question is about, approach. What will you write?
Sir, we
About
can write that the requires approval has been acquired.
Come again.
Sir, that we have required various approval like board of directors, shareholder, tribunal, landholders,
Okay.
and if अगर combination result हुआ है तो from CCI.
Correct. So basically, you need to mention about the legislation. Legislation means the law, right? So which are the different acts that are applicable here? So what all acts you have studied? So first and foremost is the
Companies Act.
right Companies Act will be applicable. Then
इनकम टैक्स है.
SEBI.
then you will write companies rules.
ये
What is the name of
Yeah.
the rules?
Compromise and arrangement.
कॉम्प्रोमाइज अरेंजमेंट.
So just remember compromise arrangement, CAA, right? Anyway, CA is too much in
So
the
that is
news,
the regulatory framework. We
right? Various legislations, right? Under the various legislations. So we are talking about the law. So Companies Act.
Sir,
Yeah.
Income Tax Act.
Yes. Next you are going to write is going to be Income Tax Act. And
सेबी.
also mention the year. Sorry, 1961. This is 2013. This is 2016. What else? FEMA. Okay.
Sir, we can also write that takeover regulation, substantial acquisition of share and
So
takeover
mergers and
regulation.
amalgamations, absolutely you can write SEBI, SAST regulations if it involves a listed company. What else?
एंड
Competition Act.
आरबीआई.
Competition Act.
यस.
IBC.
IBC. Okay.
Insolvency.
Of course, smartly you can write IBC also if the merger or amalgamation is taking place pursuant to a resolution plan. Do mention this also. Very good. This is going to be a
Sir,
smart
about
point,
the accounting standards. Yes, 14 years.
right? So you can also write IND AS, right? But again, that's part of the Companies Act only, but still you can write this IND AS 103, Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Is there anything else?
So RD would be covered under Companies Act only, right?
Yes,
Because
RD
that
would
is
be
not
covered.
covered
Yes,
in
yes.
Companies
RD is
Sir,
not a
wo-
legislation. RD is
Yeah,
a
but it's
position.
an authority.
Then
Sir, Transfer Property Act.
very good.
सर
The
इसमें स्टैम्प.
Stamp Act.
very
स्टैम्प
good.
लिखना.
Stamp Act, Transfer of Property Act will come here,
89.
and then again the Stamp Act. Okay. Is
Sir,
this clear?
all these are given in module in
Yes,
that
all these are given in module.
cross-border merger.
Yes, And you also have to mention in one line, like what is the role. So here you would say this provides the framework for mergers and amalgamation. This provides for the taxation in case of mergers and amalgamation. And then you'll have to write the taxation aspects needs to be checked for the shareholders, for the transferor company, for the transferee company. FEMA will get applicable if there are non-resident shareholders. SASC regulations will come into picture if there is a listed company. Competition Act will come into picture if there is a combination. IBC will come into picture if there is a resolution plan. RBI will come into picture if it's a banking company or it's an NBFC. Ind AS needs to be complied at all the times, of course, if Ind AS is applicable to you. Otherwise, Accounting Standards 14 needs to be complied here. Transfer of Property Act will come into picture if it involves property, right? And the landlord thing that we had covered. And Stamp Act again for the registration, right? So all these
Can
things.
we add NCLT rules also?
Yes, definitely we can add the NCLT rules also, the NCLT Act as well as the rules, because the broad process how the entire mergers amalgamation would take place, that is through the NCLT rules.
And SEBI LODR का भी mention कर सकते हैं.
Absolutely, bilkul, correct. You can also write about the LODR regulations. If one of the companies a listed company, then regulation 37 of LODR regulation gets triggered, right? So you see, it's a 5-mark question, and see the number of points you have mentioned in the class, right? In this answer, and you'll write all these. Now just imagine what strong impact it will put on the examiner. Got it? So you need
सर
to
वहाँ
answer.
दिमाग चलना चाहिए.
वहां दिमाग चलेगा अगर आपने पहले दिमाग चला के रखा है तो. प्रॉब्लम ये है प्रिपरेशन के टाइम पे अपन मॉड्यूल से देख देख के या नोट्स को देख देख के हाँ हाँ सब आता है, फिर वहां पर वो दिमाग नहीं चलता. हम पहले से खुद को टेस्ट करके जाएंगे. वो इंग्लिश में एक है ना बहुत फेमस प्रोवर्ब है, मतलब आई ऑलवेज बिलीव दिस, इट वाज शेयर्ड टू मी बाय विद माय प्रोफेसर ओनली, दैट द मोर यू स्वेट इन प्रैक्टिस द लेस यू ब्लीड इन द फील्ड. प्रैक्टिस में आप जितना पसीना बहाओगे, मेन जब आप बैटल ग्राउंड में जब आप जाओगे उतना कम आपका खून बहेगा. तो अपन विल डू द सेम थिंग हियर, विल स्वेट इन द प्रैक्टिस. ओके, so definitely ये सब याद रखें. And I'll tell you from my PYQ sessions, half of your paper will be from the PYQ session only, for sure. I'm not leaking the question paper because even I don't have access to that, but based on my experience I can tell you, if you pick up any of the past exam paper, there are questions like any of the recent attempt paper also. If you pick up 50% of the questions are repeated. Now the way they are repeated can change, but overall content is going to be same. So what I'm trying to develop is what type of question, what you need to answer and what you need to refrain. Like Richa had said, you had said about this, remember this question, I just missed it. Yes, this one. So for 5%, 10%, you had said it for the other question, but there it was not applicable. So all these things we are going to practice it in the class, and enough. I'm telling you, so many questions we are practicing it in the class. इतना अगर आप कर लोगे तो automatically वो आपका दिमाग ट्यून हो जाएगा कि कौन से आंसर पे क्या लिखना है. Okay. Now let's check this question. ABC Bank contemplates to merge with PQR Limited, and accordingly the draft scheme of amalgamation is placed before the board of directors of both the bank. The said scheme is aimed to be placed in the shareholders meeting thereafter. Mention the aspects both the companies should consider in approving the draft scheme of amalgamation.
7 points.
7 points. Fantastic. Aya samajh mein? Straight away, those 7 points you need to check. Straight away, you need to see those 7 points. I'll again show you all that slide so that you remember exactly. Board will consider these points. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go ahead and then see. Okay. What is this? See, the same language has been picked up. That's why I said pick up new syllabus module. Lesson number 3.
Yeah, that case law.
What it is? The same point that the scheme, even approved by majority, it can be rejected by the court, but such scheme should be held unfair to the meanest intelligence. So here this case law will come straight away from the module. This one, even one lone minority shareholder had apparently forced the company to call off the merger plans, but they had to prove that the merger was, they had willfully suppressed the material facts, they had the malified intentions, and the promoters in the floating were floating two separate companies here. Okay, guys, this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Is this clear? No,
Yes, sir.
not convinced? At least अभी तो yes no बोलो. Right? अगर नहीं है तो बताओ, मैं आपको फिर से और डिस्कस कर लेता हूँ. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, let's go ahead and then see the next question. Again, just see the first question that we discussed today. Now, if you see, this is again a 5-mark question, but this has clearly mentioned, briefly explain the procedure for amalgamation of the two banking companies. So the
That's
entire process will come. So we had started with amalgamation of banking company and NPFC. Now this is amalgamation of the two banking companies. So you'll start with the board of directors approval. Then you will go ahead with the shareholders approval. Thereafter, you'll go to the Reserve Bank of India. Okay. Board of directors, 2/3 of the strength of both the companies. What is the shareholder requisite which is needed? Majority number at
Three,
how much in value?
3/4.
No, no, no. 2/3. 2/3 in value.
Sir, 2/3 for board, na?
No. Just see this. Have we written this? Yeah. 2/3 in value, majority in number. So this is what you have to write. Board will consider this. Thereafter, board resolution will be passed by 2/3 of the strength of the board, approved by the shareholders, submit the scheme to RBI. RBI will approve the scheme. 5 points, one solution. Okay. All these 5 points will be part of your solution.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then I think this is the one we had covered. Okay. Now let's check this question. Is this the repeated one? Again, this is a repeated question, but with some minor changes. Can you answer this?
that again single window clearance.
Single window clearance. So again, you'll start with the first point, which is single window clearance. Then what will you put here? Right. Sridevi is sharing a recent case that in case of Lakshmi Vilas Bank, none of these was followed because again, the order was made by the government and the Reserve Bank of India. So it was a forced merger that had taken place. When you'll read section 237, you'll get this. Okay. But right now, what will you say? Again, the regional director has pointed out the inconsistencies through the affidavit. Now, are these inconsistencies there? Are these inconsistencies valid or not?
No, sir.
Correct.
Main object of transferor company is deemed to be the object of the transferee company. So no need of compliance under section in MOA. Sorry.
Right. So this is main objective is deemed to be approved. It deemed becomes the object of the transferee company. Then it says that the authorized share capital is not sufficient to cover the total consideration. So what will you say? The authorized share capital is deemed to be increased, right? All this is pursuant to the sanction of amalgamation. Yes or no? Provided it is mentioned in the scheme. Okay. Fourth point. Always remember in these questions you have to write that whatever regional director has objected, all these needs to be done subsequent to the approval of the scheme and not precedent, right? So the changes would be needed subsequent to the sanction of the scheme and not precedent. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Got this? Okay. Let's see the next question. This one. Very, very easy question.
Sir, section 230 you can oppose
No, it's not be sanctioned
It is not sanctioned. Okay. Why it is not sanctioned?
because it is a public company
Mm-hmm.
and two shareholders, so majority is not fulfilled.
So
Dual
basically it is not sanctioned. Right. So you are going to mention the dual majority requirement
dual
and here you will
majority.
say the majority in value, that is 3/4 in value, is not received. Okay. 3/4 in value is not received. Therefore the scheme is not sanctioned. Now tell me one thing. Students had got confused in this question. Even if I remove this line, does it change your answer? Does it change your answer?
No, sir.
कोई यूज ही नहीं है, right?
Sir,
Yes.
here it is written follow majority. करते.
Not audible. Mansi, is it you? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
सर मतलब वहाँ मेंशन कहाँ है कि वो लोग मेजॉरिटी शेयर होल्डर नहीं.
Okay. Doesn't matter now. Even if, so I have not written anything about majority number. I have just said that 3/4 in value is not received. Why? Because when 80%, they are holding 80% of the shares.
Oh,
Okay.
on that basis.
So on that basis, I have written the answer. Therefore, it is not approved because 3/4 of the value is not achieved.
And number of shareholders not
Doesn't
known ना
matter.
सर.
Doesn't matter.
ओके
अब
सर,
देखो
तो
उस
मेंशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है वो उसको आंसर में.
नहीं, आप जब मेंशन करोगे तो यू आर गोइंग टू मेंशन दैट द रिक्वायरमेंट अंडर सेक्शन 230 read with section 232 to approve the scheme you require dual majority, right? If any one is not received, the scheme is not approved. In this case, the scheme is not approved, right? It will
ओके
not be
सर.
sanctioned. It is not approved. It cannot be sanctioned. Why? Because 3/4 in value is not received. Simple.
इन टू क्राइटेरिया वन क्राइटेरिया इज नॉट फुलफिल, तो वैसे ही वो क्वेश्चन
वैसे ही
वैसे ही
खत्म,
वो खत्म हो
बस
जाता है.
बिल्कुल, राइट? तो अब majority नंबर है, majority नंबर नहीं है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Okay. Let's see. Then next question. Now tell me, such difficult questions they ask. Is it easy or is it difficult? What is this? एक था एनबीएफसी, एक था बैंक, दोनों मिल गए, खत्म कहानी। आपको ये बताना है कैसे मिले। अब
बोर्ड रेजोल्यूशन, आरबीआई अप्रूवल।
नहीं पढ़िए। रेकमेंड
अच्छा,
the
हाँ,
steps or
एनसीएलटी
action to
अप्रूवल।
no, just see the question. Recommend the steps or action which is undertaken by the bank with respect to the relevant statutory provisions as may be applicable in this case. Okay, so those 7 points along with those 3 points. Remember, when the bank is going to merge with NBFC, the board of the bank is going to examine whether NBFC has violated the terms of RBI or SEBI norms, whether the NBFC has done the KYC, whether NBFC has approved this, along with the 7 points. Got it?
Yes.
सर
Right?
एनबीएफसी है तो वो जो 230 और 232 के भी फॉलो कर, वो
नहीं
लिखने की
नहीं
जरूरत
नहीं
नहीं है
नहीं
ना?
नहीं आप, मैं आपको फिर से वही बताता हूँ। आप क्वेश्चन देखिए, क्वेश्चन किस चीज के बारे में है, आपको सीधा उसके बारे में आंसर करना है। यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन जो मैंने येलो कलर से हाईलाइट किया है, क्वेश्चन सिर्फ इसी पॉइंट पे है। दे आर स्ट्रेट अवे आस्किंग यू recommend the steps or action to be undertaken by the bank.
बैंक, ओके। एनबीएफसी के पर्सपेक्टिव से पूछता तो फिर हम उसको लिखते।
हाँ, अगर आपको अब देखिए, क्योंकि ये 3 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है तो मैं सिर्फ वो स्टेप्स लिख के आऊंगा, मतलब जो 7 पॉइंट्स है। इफ दिस क्वेश्चन वुड हैव बीन फॉर 5 मार्क्स, आई वुड हैव सेड एवरीथिंग। बट अगेन, अगर आपको सेफ साइड पे जाना है तो आप ऐसे भी लिख सकते हो, फर्स्ट इट विल बी अप्रूव्ड बाय द बोर्ड, then it will be approved by the Reserve Bank of India, and then it will be the scheme will go to NCLT. So एक लाइन लगेगा, आप इसको भी लिख दो तो यू आर ऑन द सेफर साइड।
सर
यस।
एक डाउट था मेरे को
हाँ हाँ,
कि अगर 2 बैंकिंग कंपनीज मर्ज हो रही हैं तो फिर एनसीएलटी नहीं आता है ना?
नहीं आता, नहीं आएगा। इट इज ओनली व्हेन the NBFC and a banking company is there, only then NCLT will come into picture. Okay,
यस सर।
all right, let's see. What a difficult question they have asked for 3 marks. My goodness. Demerger is not expressly defined in the Companies Act. First of all, tell me, is this statement true? Is
यस
this
Yes, we
statement
can
true?
write that. Yes, it is not defined, but as per section 230, demerger is a kind of arrangement.
Okay, as per section 232, read with 230. Okay,
Yes.
but you will also mention that demerger is also a kind of arrangement. Fantastic. And this will move through the NCLT under section 232, read with section 230. Okay, cherry on the cake, very smartly I would also write PS, and you don't write in the exam. Okay, PS, but you can write it this way. Note, is demerger defined anywhere?
No.
No.
The explanation is given.
Demerger is defined in the Income Tax Act
Oh yeah.
1961. Okay, since this is a 3-mark question, I'll not define what is demerger. Even if this would happen for 5 marks, I would have not defined. I would have just written this, that demerger has been defined in the Income Tax Act. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
हम ये भी लिखेंगे क्या कि in case of a demerger, property undertaking liability proposed to be divided among
You can write.
poor.
If it is a 5-mark question, you can also write. What is demerger? You can answer that. And then you can also mention here that demerger is not defined in the Income Tax Companies Act. Though demerger means this, but it is not defined, expressly defined in the Companies Act. But what is needed is this. What is needed is this. This is your cake. Whatever else you are going to write is going to be cherry on the cake. But please serve them the cake first. Okay. right? Okay, let's see then. What is going to be the answer for this? Five-mark question.
Sir, LODR regulation.
Okay. Okay.
सर इसमें ये भी मेंशन करेंगे कि यदि ट्रांसफरी कंपनी अनलिस्टेड है तो वो बाद में भी मर्जर के बाद भी वो लिस्ट अनलिस्टेड ही रहेगी जब तक वो लिस्टेड कंपनी नहीं बन जाती।
Okay. Okay. What else? What else you will write here?
सर इसमें 236 लगेगा क्या?
236? नहीं.
नो नो सर।
No. First of all, tell me, what is this question all about? Is this about takeover or this is about merger?
Merger.
This is merger. Okay. So since this is merger, which section will be applicable here? 232 or 233?
232.
232।
32.
Sure, not 233.
Sir, 238 is about
Small
small
company. And here
companies
one of
and
the company
holding.
is listed company. So if it is a listed company and this is a public company, then definitely they are not a small company. Okay. So it is going to be section 232. Shri Devi ji, no reverse merger. That's what is here. That's what is here. No reverse merger. There will be no automatic listing. So in section 232, do we have a specific provision which will trigger here? Do we have anything specific in section 232? Let's see. 232 1, 232 2, 3. And in this, we have this provision. I said you, this can be an independent question in the exam. Remember this box where the transferor company is a listed company and the transferee company is an unlisted company. The transferee company shall remain unlisted until it becomes a listed company. Yes or no? And the shareholders can also opt out and they need to be paid as per the formula which has been provided, right? And as provided by the tribunal. Yes or no? Guys, yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So you need to mention this in your answer. Okay. And thereafter the LODR regulation. So in case of LODR, you have regulation 37, which needs to be complied. So this is LODR. You have a regulation 37, which needs to be complied by this XYZ Limited. A smart question, 5 marks, smart question. Okay. Then we have another question Okay, what is this? What is this question all about? First time this question was asked. Before that, you did not had any question of this type.
Sir, unable to see the question.
Why? Others, are you also facing the same problem?
No, sir.
Mansi, just check.
Yeah, now.
Can you see now? Yeah, sure.
It's a cross-border merger.
Very good. So cross-border merger, which section?
Mm, Section
234.
Very
234.
good.
Yes.
234 and 234 would be read with section
230.
230 and 232. Okay. First and foremost, apart from section 234, is there a rule which will be applicable?
Companies compromise. No,
Yes.
cross-border.
No, 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 no. You will have rule 25A
No.
of the Compromise Arrangement and Amalgamation Rules 2016. Okay. Thereafter, you will mention Foreign Exchange Management Cross-Border Merger Regulations. Okay.
Yes. Sir,
Yes.
फिर हम वो सब भी mention करेंगे that the resulting company is Indian company.
Yes. So here,
Inbound merger की
so
सारी.
this is which type of a merger? This is an,
Inbound merger.
if this is an inbound merger, what are the compliances? What are the compliances?
Sir, that branch office.
Okay. So that is post. That is post. We are talking still in the process of merger.
Approval of Reserve Bank of India.
So is the approval of Reserve Bank of India deemed if you comply the rules?
Yes.
Right. So first and foremost, you need to mention that. So basically you'll mention these are the applicable provisions. So when you start your answer with this format, if you start with this, again, it's like, you know, how do we say? वो सचिन ने फ्रंट फुट पे जाके जो सिक्स मारा था ना, आपने स्ट्रेट अवे आपने सबसे पहले वो काम कर दिया. Examiner has asked you a question, you have mentioned all the rules which are applicable here. There in the second point, you are mentioning that this is an inbound merger. And if this is an inbound merger and it's a cross-border merger, this will also require the approval of RBI. But the cross-border merger regulation says that if you comply the regulations, then the deemed RBI approval is given. Okay. Then you also need to check that super secure PTE, this is in Singapore. Okay. Do we have anything mentioned in Rule 25A with respect to the jurisdiction?
Foreign companies jurisdiction FF.
Yes, the FAFT, their security market regulator should be a member of ISCO, or they should have a multilateral memorandum of understanding with SEBI. Remember?
And central bank
Should be the
is the
member of,
member of
and nahi,
bank.
and nahi, or basically
Okay.
one of the all,
Sir,
right?
and valuation is in international accepted principles.
Yes, so you need to mention that. So we covered the cross-border merger rules separately. We covered that separately, so it's not here in this slide. We did it from the bare regulation, correct?
Yes, sir, आपने एक slide में वो अलग से
Yes. So आप उसको cover करोगे? I'm so sorry. I think I went way too ahead, right? So you'll mention that. Should I show you the cross-border merger regulations also? What markings we had covered? I'll show you that.
सर इसमें फुल रेगुलेशन इसमें 4 to 5 बुलेट पॉइंट्स में भी इनबाउंड मर्जर के बारे में बताएंगे तो चलेगा ना सर?
Yes, आपको इनबाउंड मर्जर के बारे में वैसे ही बताना होगा. If you remember, this was for outbound merger, this was for the inbound merger. Okay. Remember, the pricing guidelines, entry routes, sectoral cap, attendant conditions, the reporting requirements. Got it? And then these all points are, you know, subsequent, that the office of the company, the foreign company will be considered as a branch office of the Indian companies. So all the FEMA regulations will be applicable there. So you need to mention this. So process you are going to mention. This is a 5-mark question. You can write as much as you want, but restrict that you have 7.5 minutes to write this answer. So within 7.5 minutes, I think you can mention everything in detail. ये point समझा आपको?
Yes,
Is this
sir.
point clear? Okay. Now tell me this. Again, this is a repeated question. This is a repeated question. The 5%, and since this is for the shareholders, you'll write about 10% of the shareholders, they can raise objections. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But if they raise objections straight away, will the scheme be disapproved or it will not be sanctioned? Answer is no. They need to prove the mismanagement. They need to prove the operation, right? All those things needs to be mentioned here. Okay. Guys, this is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then okay. Also check this. Amalgamation of the government company requires a simplified procedure for compliance. List out the steps involved for the approval of central government for this. So this is also a straightforward question. Steps we had already covered. If you remember, procedure for the amalgamation of the government company. Remember these steps. It is to be
Sir,
approved by the.
section 237.
No, this is not 237. Just see the difference between the question. Here the question is that in case of merger of a government company, the process is different. This is not merger or amalgamation by the government in public interest. This is merger or amalgamation of a government company. So here answer will be this, that in case of central government, you need the approval of the union of the minister, right? And then you need to mention all these things. The resolutions will be passed. Unanimous resolution should be there. 100% shareholding. 90% of the creditors should value. In value, they should agree. Okay. And this is going to be the answer.
Okay.
Right. So, okay. I think again, I have gone way too ahead. Right. This is that. Amalgamation of government company. This is not amalgamation by the government in public interest. Got it? दोनों आंसर अलग है. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now from here on, we'll continue in the next lecture then, right? We'll wrap up the session here. But I suppose you all must have now understood where, or basically the self-assessment must have been done by you all, that where you know the answers, where you don't know, where your answers are correct, what to be written, what is not to be written, where you need to revise further. I hope this all should be clear to you now. इतना
Yes, sir.
कॉन्फिडेंस आप लोगों को आ रहा है कि आंसर्स लिख सकते हैं?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
कल जैसे हम लोगों का डिस्कशन हो रहा था दैट वी वर कि आंसर्स में क्या लिखना है, कैसे लिखना है, अभी समझ में आया? सो पीवाईक्यू सेशन का यही फायदा है. So we'll go ahead with the further questions in the next lecture, right? Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we are starting with the valuations. We'll do that in some other lecture. Maybe next Sunday we can start and we can continue from here, right? And or let's say this week we finish off the valuation little early, then Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we can continuously keep the sessions for PYQ sessions only. Okay. So just revise. We still have, I think this is 2019 attempt paper. So we have covered almost till 2018 attempt questions, right? Till December 2018. So from 2019 attempt paper will continue in the next PYQ session. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock we'll meet and we'll start with the valuations. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, lot of practice would be required, and not just oral practice. I would also say write it in, practice it in writing. Write all these answers, and that's where you are actually going to test whether you know or you don't know. What you can do, all those questions that we have practiced till now, you can write it in full, and all those questions like this question and all these subsequent questions, you can practice in the bullet points like how I have written here, and maybe in the next PYQ session you can tally what your answer is and what I have written here. So that will again give you a lot of confidence that yes, whatever bullet points you have noted down, the same points have been discussed in the class. And if any of the answer is wrong, that will be again a learning for you that okay, you had analyzed the question and maybe you can discuss that in the class. That's how I had thought that we have to write this, so I have written these points, where else you are discussing these points. So why am I wrong and why the other answer is correct? So you can do that, right? That will definitely help. And this chapter, please don't take chance, because as I have said, if this, if institute wants, they can again ask, and they have actually done that 50% of your part A comprised of only mergers and amalgamation. So just practice. And this I'm telling you apart from the the competition act, taxation, accounting standards, and all those things. If you cover that, that will almost touch up to 40 marks, right? So let's not take chances in this and crack it out. Okay, so take care. Bye bye. I'll take a leave now. All the best. Bye bye.